Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve to those watching. So this morning I wanted to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and give you some tips on how to not only stay out of stress, but also talk about how to kind of get out of this. I feel like a lot of people live in this like bracing world right now, where they don't give everything is all about like the exercise and the working out and the this like all that stuff, and they don't give their emotional standpoint or their mental stressful standpoint any sort of gumption, right? So going into now, I know that like going into Christmas time and like spending time with family can um, you're always thinking about food and alcohol and all these things that you're going to consume. The one thing I will tell you, if I'm being real, is that sugar and alcohol both cause stress to the system, so they lower your immune system. I know that's like annoying to hear, but it's the truth. So I always think about like bringing some. If you ever, if you have this thought or if you have it today, to bring something with you that you can eat, or to bring something with you that you will feel good eating if you know that like you're going somewhere that doesn't have anything good or you're concerned about that. Try to not try to go into like the whole weekend not being stressed. Like just have a good time. Try to keep up your immune system by having good thoughts and having good just good going in with a very good spirit, as opposed to going in with like this is so stressful, or this is going to be so exhausting, or whatever, because that will again deplete your immune system, right? So thoughts have more power than I think people actually give it credit for. And so does sugar. So both of those things are very highly like, if you're in a stressed out state, or if you're in a place of like eating a lot of sugar, then you have more of a tendency to get sick, and you have more of a tendency to keep your system very low. Okay. I will also say, I think this time of year, focus less on like consuming and focus more on like the people around you, right? Focus more on the joy of the time and the gratitude of the time. I think a lot of people, I just was finishing a client, and I think a lot of people have this, there's a lot of emotional and mental stress in people's lives. And I don't know that people really understand how much that affects your body and how that can put you into pain. And I mean like chronic pain, not just a little bit of pain, right? I know people who have been living with like chronic shoulder, chronic hip, chronic lower back pains, and everyone thinks it stems from food or exercise. And if there's one thing I have learned in the past 5 years, it's that not all stress and not all pain just comes from food. It comes from how you think, it comes from who's in your life, it comes from how you live your life, it comes from your past and your past trauma and your past stress. I don't know, because because we live in a world where everything has to be, if it's not physical and you can't see it in front of you, it must not be true, right? I can't disagree more. I think there is so much to what we can't see, right? There's a lot to stress in the body that builds up from mental and physical or emotional abuse that you never dealt with. And a lot of people deal with that all the time. And I don't think that people really take that into consideration, is that when you have been abused in any way, shape, or form, it does take a toll on your body, and it does present itself in pain. It does present itself in disease. It does present itself in colon issues. It does present itself in ovarian issues. It does present itself in shoulder issues. Like there are more things that are emotional and mental, and we don't give that credit because we can't see it. So most people can't even understand that because they don't think it, because it doesn't make sense, right? Some things don't make sense. Some things, like when you get stressed out, what happens when you get stressed out? The shoulders raise. You might not even realize your shoulders are raising because you're just like so unaware, right? But a lot of people hold stress here. A lot of people hold stress in their shoulder or in their hips or in their gut. And then what happens is that people get lower back pain. lower back pain is almost always a candida slash yeast slash parasitic problem, or a mental emotional trauma, which turns into a mental emotional stress problem that you don't know how to get rid of because you're not acknowledging the pain. So this Christmas, not only do I want you to live in joy, not only do I want you to live in a place of gratitude and all of that good stuff, right? That's what Christmas is about. Being kind to yourself, being kind to others, giving back, not always monetarily, but just giving back in whatever you can give back, right? But I also think it's a place of reflection and it's a place of looking inward. So looking at your life and looking at, is this the way I want to live my life? Are the right people in my life and are they helping me? Are these people causing me a ton of stress and a ton of pain? And I'm afraid to acknowledge it because I'm afraid of what my life would look like. Guess what? It might be a good thing to start looking at your life in such a way, because then you can actually move on and not look at life in fear and look at life in pain and look at life in anger or resentment. You just move on. Some battles are meant to be lost. I think a lot of people are they're afraid of losing. They're or they're so full of pride of winning, like they want to win so badly at something that sometimes when you lose, you're just losing the battle and you're winning the war in the long run. But I think we've gotten so used to, I need to win, I need to win, I need to win, I need to succeed, I need to succeed, I need to succeed. Stop trying to succeed all the time. It's okay to lose every now and then. I've lost, it hurts, it sucks, but guess what? Then I see the bigger picture and I'm like, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. So I'm just going to challenge you all this weekend going into the new year, right? Don't make a resolution necessarily, but I want you to look back at like everything that you have accomplished. I want you to look back at everything that you did this year. I want you to look back at everything in the past 5 years, maybe, that have been good. I think we all focus so much on the problems and focus on like what's going wrong, and we never look enough at like what's going really well. And if I'm being honest, like this year, like there were some rocky times for sure, but I've grown in maturity, I've grown spiritually, I've grown mentally, I've grown emotionally. I've let go of a ton of pains and a ton of emotional trauma that I didn't even realize was there. I've gotten stronger. I have gained more knowledge and more skills, and I find myself to be a lot more compassionate, a lot more kind, a lot calmer, right? I've grown financially. I've grown in terms of just like what I know and how to treat others. I've let go of anger. I've let go of resentments that I've had. I let go of a lot of things. Those are all winning. Like, yes, you could focus on all the other stuff, and now I choose to focus on going forward, continuing the spiritual and mental and emotional growth, because we always need to continue that. But then on top of that, it's like actually allowing somebody into my life, because I never realized that I was so in anger and in resentment and in fear of rejection and judgment that I was never allowing myself to be open to the possibility of what true love and true acceptance really is, right? Because I was so worried of being judged and rejected my entire life. And that's a win for me, because I go, oh, wow, like I didn't realize that, even though like it might be painful to address the issue, I didn't realize that that was a major breakthrough moment for me. So going into the holiday, I just want you all to try not to live in stress. Really try to like look at as much as you can in just like a good light. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Go into the weekend having fun and looking forward to it, not thinking about everything that you have to do, just thinking about being present. I like to think of, as opposed to having presence, think about presence, like being, a state of being, right? Merry Christmas, you guys. So if you listen to this, you know, if you're listening just now, or if you've been listening for a while, I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in when you have time. I want to thank you for I guess trusting me in my advice that I have to offer. I want to thank you for not judging, and also just being open-minded to like everything that I have to say, because I do feel like I bring value, and I hope I do bring value to you. I feel it, so I'm glad to be doing this for whoever's out there, and just have a great Christmas. Remember, God is there for you. He has your back if you will allow it. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So, Merry Christmas again, and I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Love, peace, kindness, and hope. Bye bye.